I want to talk today about channeling main character energy and the dance that the ego must play within arrogance and confidence and figuring out, how to balance both and not getting too lost in, complete arrogance and also not getting lost completely in playing the humble card, because wow, that can also leave you completely bound in limiting beliefs and playing small when life is a stage and you can play as you pray. So that is the theme today. And one thing I've been contemplating as I've been drinking out of my cup that says main character energy, that I actually gave as a gift to my little brother, but somehow I end up drinking out of it more often because it's a nice reminder. So I'm going to be getting ready today because I'm playing a main character out on my life stage today as I go to coffee on a Tuesday. I'm going to coffee on a Tuesday and have a couple meetings in town. I'm about an hour outside of town. And so I'm putting on my custom clothing. I made this jacket. I thrifted it and then painted on it. It says, I am cosmic duality. And I'm wearing these cool ripped up denim shorts. And I'm going to throw on a belt so it kind of covers. But this is the fit today. And I was sitting in contemplation this morning. And I was thinking about how there's a one-word difference that supports this contemplation between arrogance and confidence. And it's one word that can shift an entire vibration and frequency. And it is the word only. So if you think, and your mantra is, I matter, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror. So I love to do mirror work. And this is why I love to play with cosmetics as like a tool to play with glamour magic. And it's become now a part of my ritual. And not often, it's not every day that I wear cosmetics anymore like I used to. However, the mantra, I matter, and one word that can change, that creates almost too much excess confidence, is I only matter. So I matter or I only matter. Two different vibrations, two different ways of travel throughout this matrix that can really shift your vibration. I matter or I only matter. And this has been a constant dance in my life as an artist, where I've had to really sit with myself and kind of, I've danced between both, and the story of Narcissus back in the day where, it's this god that was looking into the pond and fell in love with his own reflection. And the truth is that I very much relate to that, because as I've been looking into this mirror reflection of myself over the many years of being, a content creator and just on camera, really since I can remember, I was already doing child commercials as a toddler. And so I've just kind of known that life is a stage, being raised by magicians ever since I was little and growing up in entertainment and seeing, my dad and my mother also dance this line of confidence and arrogance. And it's this really interesting thing that artists have to navigate, because oftentimes, we don't want to fully trample over people in conversation. This is one thing that I've definitely been learning about myself, because I have played both the observer and the observed for quite a long time. And I have done a lot of listening and I've done a lot of talking. I've kind of been in this paradoxical experience for many years now. And it has been a very interesting process, because I, have learned to play both roles, and then there's like making up for lost time in being raised by somebody who was one of the loudest voices in the space and always kind of the Pied Piper. And that goes for a few different archetypes in my life. And then I've also been the one that was like the life of the party and the one that's getting the dance floor going. So it's a very interesting experience. And so, yeah, I would just pose to all of you this contemplation. I matter, I only matter. Where is it that we are hanging on that spectrum? And how can we balance both in order to really, access the dreams that we desire? And desire is another one that I've been sitting with for a long time. And just realizing that so many of us are scared to go after our ultimate desires. We're so terrified. We're so bound in, again, this idea of playing small, like as if we're going to get a medal at the end of our lifetimes for playing this big, which is so not actually the truth. But it's a process, and I know that for myself, I've really had to remember that my story matters, and each and every one of you get to remember that same thing. Your story matters, and telling stories is the most ancient art form of all. We've been sitting around fires, telling stories, whether we are talking in third person or not. Sometimes I tell stories just to fuck with people, and I just tell it in like a parable, and people don't even know that I'm talking about me. It's fun. It's fun to just play life as a stage, and as we're telling these stories, you get to pick which character you would like to play. And, in the world that, this is the way that I see it. Now again, what I say doesn't even mean that it's like correct. It's just my way of travel. It just means that this is my current landscape and contemplation. And I invite you to think about it in your own lives. So take with it what you want, spit out the rest if it doesn't resonate. But for myself, I have realized that my life, has been very intense. I've actually gone through quite a bit of hard things in my life, and it's been like a lot of sadness, but blended with incredible, life-giving experiences that I just continue to pinch myself and realize like, wow, this is my true life. It feels like a movie. And I am sitting with the idea that I was born in this avatar, in this soul suit, with this amalgamation of dreams and visions within me. And I can sit back and I can, just be the observer in life's metaphorical baseball game. And I can sit in the nosebleeds and be the observer and watch other people in on the game. Or I can get in the dugout and play. And so that's been something that I've sat with for quite a long time. And been like, how is it that I would like to play in this experience that we are currently in? And while also simultaneously holding a very big heart for the world and desires to really be of service and supportive. So that is a very interesting experience to hold simultaneously, of just, wanting to just bend over backwards and be this like Mother Teresa archetype that's like, holding space and doing, truly, I like sit and I pray for the world and I weep for the world. I was sitting on my roof last night and I was just praying and watching the sunset and just weeping for the world and feeling it all. And that's what, artists do. Artists really feel a lot, and then they channel what they feel into some sort of art, music, poetry, writing, some writing of some sort. Maybe it's, your medium is art and you desire to like put out these paintings that really help people reflect. And that's ultimately what art is it helps us contemplate what this whole life is about. And so for those of us, especially those of us here right now watching this, whether you're watching this live, or maybe you're watching this in the replay, those of us that have the privilege, the absolute privilege, to be even contemplating about our dreams at all, I believe, in my experience, that we owe it to the rest of the avatars, the rest of the souls that did not incarnate in our vessels, to really go after it and really take ownership of our desires and our dreams so that we can be an inspiration to others. And so again, there's going to be ebbs and flows in this. That doesn't mean that you're going to be, you know, constantly, well, maybe, you know, some, but for myself, I'll speak again. I'm always careful to just speak from my own perspective. So for myself, it ebbs and flows. You know, I feel like there's been a lot of output in certain seasons, and then there's been more input in certain seasons. And so right now I've been feeling this like spark that's been getting some juice and some lighter fluid sprayed on it. And I can feel this like burning fire in me to start really kind of, you know, taking life by the reins again, and in ways of travel that are maybe new that I haven't explored yet. So that's looking different and different explorations. And it's been really fun to try different things on for size, different archetypes, different, you know, ways of travel, like I said, through the artistic landscape of all that is, which is so much room to play in this sandbox. And so anyways, that's been my current contemplation, and I wanted to share with you guys and invite you into thinking about how you can channel your main character energy, in what ways feel healthy and well and exciting for you. And I love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in to my show, and I will see you guys in the future.